This podcast will fail, mostly because nobody's going to listen to it, but you might prove me wrong. Who knows? Episode 39, and this podcast will fail. I'm just some guy who's turned 45 years old today, but in the big picture, who I am and where I am is pretty much irrelevant to the conversations that I come here to have with you and myself. So, happy birthday to me, I guess. Yeah, it's weird. I'm kind of alone for a good chunk of the day today for my great big 4-5. My wife is at work. My homeschool kids are sleeping. I have seen my oldest son today. I did take my wife to work. We have a little bit of an activity later on. We're doing a trunk or treat at her work. She's a librarian, and tomorrow's Halloween. So there you go. I guess what I've been thinking about all day today is kind of this question of, is age really just a number? I've heard that my entire life, right? I've heard it every which way, that it's not how old you are, it's how you feel. It's how you live. It's what you do with your life. It's how you take care of yourself, right? There are 60 and 70-year-olds that are probably in better physical condition than I am. There are 30-year-olds that I could run circles around and beat pound for pound with energy and stamina and vim and vigor, as I like to say. So, I don't really know, to be honest. I guess I could look at the typical list of complaints that most people tend to come up with when it comes to age. Okay, so do I have a bad back? No. Do I have bad knees? No. Okay. Could I run around a high school track? No. I'd probably be hunched over, doubled over, trying to catch my breath after about a quarter of the distance. Okay. God, I've had for a long time, like the ever aging face. I talked earlier in this season, 2 or 3 episodes into this season, about how I saw my grandfather's face in the mirror one morning a couple of weeks ago. Physical signs of aging: salt and pepper hair, right? There's the occasional iron gray strand in the goatee. There's all that stuff, and yet I don't necessarily feel ancient. I think there's a couple of things that I wrestle with. One, again, I'm not like, I don't trundle along, right? I don't necessarily suffer to get up off of a couch. I don't creak and groan like an elderly man would. I did a couple years ago because I was a fat ass, pushing 300 pounds, and I fixed that. So I wasn't grumbling and groaning to get up because of age. It was because of weight. So I can stand up pretty quick. I don't get lightheaded. Still think I'm pretty strong. I can pick up some stuff. I can pick up a person. You know. I can go all day. I can stay on my feet for several hours. I can hold up to the average day. And 45, I guess, in some ways is not supposed to be this, ancient thing. And I get told this all the time. I get, told by coworkers or friends, knock it off. Oh my God, you're ridiculous. Naturally, these are people that are older than me, right? Folks in their 50s and their late 50s and early 60s that are like, oh, for Christ's sake, you're a baby. Or any, just this morning, quick happy birthday message I got. I've gotten like 40 happy birthday messages on Facebook, which is always nice. And I said, so I go to one person, yeah, I don't feel a day over 55. And this person is like 52 or something, and she's like, oh, for Christ's sake, knock it off. You're ridiculous. Well, I think I am, but I'm not. It's not that I am struggling with the physical aspects of getting older. It's more the it's like the sense that time is getting away from me. I think that's the real root of any frustration or angst I may have, is basically the idea that here I am, right? I'm 45 now, right? I had so many ideas about what I was going to be or what I will have accomplished by the time I reach this age, and I have accomplished very few of them. The number one accomplishment that I can point to in my life is the fact that I raised a family, right? I built a life. We got married young, yep, but we built our family, we had our kids, and we did our thing, man. And we're still doing it. My youngest daughter is 11, but I've already moved some adult-sized people out of my house. And that journey's half over, I guess, in a weird way. But that's an accomplishment, right? I went through a lot of trials and troubles in the last 20 years, but we've made it through, and we're still chugging along. So that's an accomplishment, right? That's something that I wanted, right? I didn't come from a particularly strong family background. I came from a divorced house with an abusive father, who I didn't see an awful lot growing up. I, had a barely there mother who was either working or sleeping, and that's about it. There really wasn't any family. Two older brothers that were both gone by the time I was, I don't know, 12. They had moved out. So, for me to be able to build a strong, solid family that gives a damn about each other, gives a damn about other people, good kids that genuinely want good lives, and they want not just for themselves, but they want people um, to have good lives, people around them. That's huge. So that's an accomplishment. That's something I can point to. Um, I never got famous, you know, uh, from age 17. For the first time I got on stage with a bass guitar in my hand, I thought it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it. We're gonna do this. We never did it. I thought I was gonna be an actor. Nope. That ended after high school. Had to go to work. Don't have time for this stuff. Thought I was gonna be, a radio personality 15 years ago. And after 4 years and realizing it wasn't going anywhere, gave up on that. So even YouTube in the last 5 years didn't go where I'd hoped or expected it to go. And here I am, still publishing digital media, still thinking that even though I know this particular podcast is not going to go anywhere, um, I still hope. I still look at the numbers every day. I still smile when I see that 3 people have looked at the thing. Um, I try. I really. It's like an interesting challenge to myself not to obsess about it. But even here, as I'm talking right now, I'm going to pull up and look at yesterday's episode and see what it looks like. And 2. Okay, well there you go. I lost. Either somebody hasn't watched yet today, or my talk about American society completely turned them off yesterday. So I don't know. It is what it is. All right, but I still think that there's somehow something's going to happen. Something's going to give, and it's really like rough because I look at examples of people that go late in life, right? Chief among them is, my favorite example is Morgan Freeman. The guy didn't get his acting break until he was almost my age. I think he was age 40 when he got his first big break in a role. Well, okay, so I guess it's not too late. It's just that I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play the part of the young, fresh, stylish, pop icon. No, I guess that's not going to be me. Um, there's still hope, I guess, that someone could look at me and go, "Oh yeah, I know him. He's awesome." Right? I'm not going to be Liam Neeson or Morgan Freeman or any of it, but it's hard for me to sit here and think that time's moving. The clock ain't stopping. And I have a finite battery life here, right? I don't Unless there's some really significant leaps forward in medical technology. I've still got an expiration date lingering out there, and I think generally, just by my observation, that expiration date is somewhere between age 70 and age 75. Well, that means I am more than halfway through this thing. And then what? How long does this ticker go? How long does this old brain continue to crunch numbers? I don't know. But once again, there's that group of people that'll say, "Oh, knock it off. You're still young. 40 is the new something. 30, I don't know. 45 is the new 35. I don't quite know about that." Um, they'll tell me I've got all kinds of time left in the world, and I know I do. I get it, right? There's another 20 to 25 years, I guess, out there for me to work with, so to speak. It's just kind of feels like a somewhere in between. I missed my shot, and the clock is winding down, and no, we've got all the time in the world, right? It's some weird place in between those two perspectives that I sit right now. Um, I want to accomplish as much as I can, but life is kind of static in some ways too, especially now. For Christ's sake, 2020, screw it, you're done. Nothing, certainly nothing is going to happen in the next 2 months other than a potentially um, world-changing election, I guess. But for me, the calculation remains the same. I still have a mortgage payment, two car payments, you know, gas and electric bill, car insurance and groceries and credit card bills and whatever else is out there. I still got to get up every day and go to work. I really don't want to do that anymore. I really have this ridiculous lingering pipe dream that by this age I should have been able to retire and just do what I want. At this age, I should be talking to you right now from inside a professional podcasting studio that I built myself, inside of a building that I either own or rent, and I lease this space out. I rent this space out to podcasters all day, every day, and I make money. And then when someone's in here recording in this fantasy podcasting room, I'm next door in the studio, and I'm either laying down some kind of voiceover work, or I'm in a music studio, and we're just plucking away and trying to make something. I've had this dream of having a business, but for now, I don't have the time or resources to do that. I make enough money to pay all of my bills, usually on time. Not really. Like most people, you have to juggle and you have to figure out where you go next and who you pay now, and budget the groceries as carefully as you can, and think carefully about, right, what kind of expenditures you have, like big family dinners or restaurants and vacations. I'm living in a workaday world at this age, And I mentioned in my podcast yesterday, one of my favorite employees is she's 70 years old. She should have stopped. She should have been able to stop. She didn't necessarily want to, but I I look at it and go, my God, you still have to get up every day and go to an office and sit in front of a computer and plow away for for 8 hours just to continue paying your bills because Social Security is not enough and you don't have enough for retirement. I don't have any retirement right now. Not really. I have like a small, you know, IRA through my work, and my wife is starting to build a, like a state pension, because she worked for a government entity as a librarian. She works for a city. Hell, I don't know. I want to do more. I want to be more. I just cannot shake the sense that somehow the clock is against me here, that I don't have as much time as I need. Well, what did you accomplish in the first 20 years of your adult life? uh, I raised a family and I have great kids and I have a happy marriage and I have a house and I got the American dream. Um, but what's next? What's left? How much further can I go? Again, I guess there's no there's no limit to what you can do if you're willing or able to put in the time and work. I've had this conversation with enough folks where, yeah, listen, if I had the energy and the stamina, I could not come home after work and I could go and build this business that I dream about. I don't know how, right? I guess I'd be sitting there trying to crowdsource or crowdfund money or trying to get investors or trying to build a business plan or trying to, I don't know, but I wouldn't be home, right? As it is with teenagers and especially older teenagers, I only see them for, a couple minutes here and there every single day. It's not like I'm, you know, sitting down and hanging out with them all day or all night after work, and we try to eat dinner like a family as often as we can. But even that, everybody just kind of tends to scatter. So yeah, I could never see them at all. Not see my wife just to chase this potential dream that there's no guarantee that it's going to go anywhere. I don't want that. I want the thing. I want the dream, but I don't want to give up the family because that's uber important to me. That's critical to me. So I don't know. I continue to plug on. I continue, I guess, to be thankful that I'm not falling apart physically. Right? I got some aches and pains. Right? I got a really screwed up set of sinuses behind my nose and behind my eyes. The weather sucks, and I suffer through that. I've got some messed up something in my shoulder. I keep sleeping wrong, and I don't sleep through the night, and got to get up early to pee like an old man. And there's that stuff, but there's nothing really egregious. There's um, nothing that's making me walk like an invalid or need a wheelchair or any of that. So far so good. Knock on wood. Please don't give me COVID-19 or cancer or heart attack or any of these other things. You know, Hopefully stress doesn't bring those things on, because these are the things I stress about, is something going significantly wrong and me not being physically or mentally or financially capable of dealing with it or coping with it. It's like a never-ending set of stressors, and stress makes you sick and that kind of thing. I don't want any of that. So I guess I gotta be grateful for what I have, right? Happy birthday to me. I'm 45 years old today. I'm still above ground. I'm still upright. I'm still drawing breath. Um, I'm still finding amazing moments with my family. I'm going to see two of my sons that we haven't seen in a month. Are going to come home tomorrow for a Halloween party at home to celebrate two of their brothers' birthdays and my birthday, and have everybody together and eat food and play games, and that's the kind of stuff I have to give the perspective on and remember. You got it pretty good, pal. There's a lot worse things you could be at age 45. So, all right, I think that's it. I appreciate you listening to me whine and cry about being a not old man, old man. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a good day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one.